Saturday afternoon to the Berlin ground. Over a season, the typical Hammers fan pounds 10 miles of Green Street pavement, praying for an inspired performance from their beloved West Ham side. The agony and ecstasy, just a few hundred yards away. Can this season finally end a run of 18 years without a major trophy? It was so near but so far for Harry Redknapp's men last May as the Hammers failed by a single point to qualify for Europe, despite their best season for over 10 years, finishing 8th in the Premiership and reaching the FA Cup 6th round and the quarter-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup. For the new season, West Ham's signings included Newcastle's 29-year-old Shaka Hislop, an East Londoner who said joining the club was like coming home. He replaced French World Cup squad winner Bernard Lama. The defence lost David Unsworth, but on the same day at the end of July gained Chilean international Javier Margas for $2 million, and London favourite Neil Ruddock signed from Liverpool on an appearance-based contract. Finally, a certain Ian Wright stunned the football world by signing for the Hammers in a 2-year deal, turning down 10 other interested Premiership sides in the process. To sign 3 Londoners was a far cry from Harry Redknapp's previous globe-trotting shopping expeditions, but would it engineer the chemistry to deliver the kind of results to put West Ham on track for Europe in the new millennium?
And of course finished 16th. Thomas got a bit of a kick there from Carboni. The referee urges them to play on. Pearce it was who got it away. Di Canio! And I think Hislop was pleased to see that one go past his post. So many making a debut for West Ham. Berkovic got a deflection and Pressman couldn't reach it. It'll be a corner. Berkovic. Let's watch Lampard. Sinclair, this is Lampard. A little bit of space opening up for him. Tries something, Pressman made a superb save. Well, Lampard, he was 20 in June, already knocking on the door of the full England side. Pressman just made that, just off his line. Good touch right, trying to force his way through. Berkovic is in there, but does look like we'll get it away, but Berkovic has taken it off him. Right into the stands. But what a great ball by Berkovic there. He saw Wright arriving. Just a little touch back. Wright will be a bit disappointed with that. Couldn't keep it down. Finished 1-1 last season. A better season for West Ham, who finished 8th to Wednesday's 16th. Sinclair got in well there, and Berkovic yet again to start things going, herring down the right wing. Hit him on the back of the foot, Trevor Sinclair. Taken through Berkovic! Another brilliant save by Pressman, and Berkovic steers the ricochet into the side netting. But Pressman has once again kept Wednesday in the game. Again, Carboni, good looking ball to Booth. There's plenty of space down this left hand side for Wednesday to exploit. Cross comes in, up goes Booth, and Ferdinand was covering. Booth felt he should have got a corner. Could Again, excellent covering by the England international Rio Ferdinand. As the ball comes in, shepherds it across. And who did that come off? Lomas. Good looking long throw. Pearce! Oh, brilliant one-handed save by Pressman yet again. Keeps Wednesday in the game. Quite agile for Pearce. Ferdinand, lucky he got hold of that, but it's turned back in again. Kugama to Carboni. Appeal for handball. The referee Durkin says no. Great shot from Carboni. Beautifully agile, but Hislop went down. Sinclair Berkovic. He scored on his debut for Crystal Palace, on his debut for Arsenal, and now it's a hat-trick of debut goals for Ian Wright. Well, Sinclair started it. It was the touch from Berkovic. Beautiful slide rule pass from Sinclair and a brilliant finish by Ian Wright. West Ham ahead, 4 minutes to go.
3 points in the bag, but a more serious test for the Hammers the following week with the visit to Upton Park of Alex Ferguson's Red Devils.
Manchester United in their change colours, playing from right to left against a team that had never beaten them in the Premiership. West Ham's last victory over Manchester United in 1992 helped to take the last Football League title for which the top clubs competed to Leeds rather than west of the Pennines. Kenny Brown's goal seems a good many more seasons than that back in history. Here's Trevor Sinclair giving it away to Roy Keane. Ian Wright has been denied the chance to try to do today what he never did for Arsenal, and that's score a league goal past Peter Schmeichel. This is Irwin. United's manager has opted for a lofty view of events to start off with. And out by Jonsson. Gary Neville. Just caught a little late by John Hartson. If you had to describe John Hartson with only one word, it would probably be combative. And inside 90 seconds, the referee feels it necessary to reach for the first yellow card of the game for John Hartson. Was an unnecessary challenge. And Hartson, who's only just come back from suspension, he's missed 8 of the last 14 games because of various bans, put his foot in where there was no need. I think we may know when he does. Then he's trying to play Giggs in. It was a good pass. York and Cole are both in the centre, and that looked like handball by Neil Ruddock to turn that behind. The referee has given a corner. My initial thought was that Ruddock had actually put it behind with an arm or a hand. It was Giggs with the deep cross. Now, what did Ruddock use? I have to say that that's a handball, and it should have been a penalty. Oh, bobbled awkwardly. York. Giggs. Beckham, little more central. That's a good ball through. It's Andy Cole, and Hislop makes a fine stop. Both former Newcastle players, and the more recent recruit thwarts the man who moved for 7 million. Impey. Berkovic. Lazaridis. Hartson. This is better. This is Lampard. And Schmeichel muffed it, but not as badly as Berkovic. He has an excuse in that Henning Berg was in very close attendance maybe his presence was enough to put the Israeli off, but Schmeichel seemed nonplussed. I only imagined it swerved just in front of him.
What do you think when you hear stories about bids coming in for Frank, who I know is a very good friend of yours?
Well, obviously it's flattering for the players, for people to be coming in for him, but West Ham are an ambitious club, and the players that we've signed in the past couple of seasons has epitomised that. So hopefully we can keep on going. You know, we want to get into Europe this season at least, and get as high up the table as we can, and hopefully do something in the FA Cup as well. So, but I think that if you look at it now, in the last 10 years we haven't had so many quality players at the club. You know, we've got players involved with England, Wrighty, myself, Frank's on the fringes, and there's other players also vying for a place in that squad. So the squad looks quite healthy at the moment, and hopefully we can carry on.
Is it too much to say that should we say the Cockney dream team of Ruddock and Wright has actually made that tiny bit of difference to West Ham that now might clinch them that European place?
Of course, he's made a difference. Yeah, I mean, Ian Wright's going to go into any team and make a difference. Even if Ian Wright doesn't play, if you've got him in the dressing room, I mean, I haven't been in there with him, of course, but just talking to the lads, they say that he's different class, and he really winds them up and that. And I know he gets hold of the strikers and literally kicks them up the bum as they're going out. And I say, look, if you don't work hard, I'll be in the team next week. And Ruddock's, he's brought something to the defence. I think he's actually improved Rio as well. He's got Rio talking a lot more, and Rio's actually admitting it's Razor that's it's helping him out, and Razor's admitting Rio's helping him out. So altogether, I think they're two good signings.
August ended with another sound defensive display at Coventry under the marshalling eye of Javier Margus, finally making his debut for the club.
He's already settled down. It's like he's played for him all his life. Ian Wright. Well, he scored a corker against Sheffield Wednesday. Wide is Lazaridis. Lovely long cross, bit too long really. Hartson, short blonde hair. Berkovic, just trying to get a bit of space here. Impey finds Berkovic again, and Shaw settles for the corner. So as the game progresses, West Ham looking for the goal that could get all 3 points. It's been tight enough as it is. Lampard will take the corner. Lazaridis has come up, Hartson's up. It'll come to Hartson. And Magnus Hedman was pleased to see that one go over. He rescued that and saves the throw. Not an easy ground to come to pick points up, as West Ham have often found. Boateng, good looking cross, Dublin, plenty of space here. Disappointing finish. Oh, the England man knows he should have done better. Aston Villa reported to be interested in him. And, well, a little bit of a misunderstanding there. I think Lampard thought that one was going to be for him. Sure. This is better from Coventry. Lomas goes in. Oh, he's got a bit of a knock there. I can tell you he has hurt his right leg quite badly. So, referee Neil Barry has called for John Green to have a look. And John Moncur comes on in the 83rd minute. Berkovic. That's another wasted one. Moncur, dear oh dear. Well, Moncur, has he even been on for a minute? And one can only hope that Neil Barry will not see red. There's plenty of red in his shirt. Waving everybody else away. Lucky we can't lip read. Moncur not happy about that, but it really was a ludicrous challenge and a booking. Again, Lazaridis finds Wright. Slightly awkward bounce for Headman.
3 games, 5 points and the best defence in the Premiership, but still a little early to make any serious judgments about the Hammers' long-term potential.
Well, obviously we want to improve on last year and get into Europe. That's one of our aims really, and obviously to do well in the FA Cup.
There was only one crazy gang at Upton Park on the 9th of September and it wasn't Wimbledon. After 5 minutes, John Hartson put West Ham ahead after being brilliantly set up by Ian Wright. 7 minutes later, skipper for the night Wright steered home a blocked Hartson shot to put Hammers 2 up. East London rocked on 26 minutes when Skippy Stan Lazaridis skipped past his marker to lay on Ian Wright's stunning second. No one raised an eyebrow except Shaka Hislop, who wasn't able to raise anything in particular when Marcus Gale scored what looked like a brief respite for Wimbledon on half an hour. Javier Margus looked decidedly chilly though when Jason Ewell ghosted in behind him to make it 2. Gale scored his second of the night after Impey collided with Hislop and the 3-goal lead had been surrendered. The unthinkable 4th goal for Wimbledon, a brilliant 50-yard 1-2 executed by transfer-listed Efan Akoku, sent West Ham fans sprinting for the exit. The best defence in the league spent some time behind locked doors after the game, studying early learning centre books on marking and defence.
We started the game and we was excellent for the first half. You know, it's a fantastic performance by the lads. So you go 3-0 up just like that. It was we came out the second half, and to be fair, I think Wimbledon changed their tactics a bit on us, and they stuck 3 players up the middle, and we made hard work of it. And everyone knows that we finished up, that we got beat, and maybe it's a bit of a lesson for us in some ways. You know, that to make sure that we are nice and consolidated at the back.
How long have you been a West Ham fan, Daniel?
Since I was about 3 years old.
And where are you? Are you travelling a long way to come to West Ham?
From Leicester.
From Leicester?
Every week.
Did you go to the away games as well?
Yeah, most of them.
How old are you, may I ask, Daniel?
12.
How do you afford to get
My dad pays for it.
Is your dad here today?
Yeah.
And is he a West Ham fan?
Yeah.
West Ham hadn't thrown away a 3-goal lead in a first-team game for nearly 30 years, but at least they had an immediate opportunity to send that miserable night into history as a one-off by producing a quality performance in a sell-out game against the mighty Liverpool at Upton Park.
Pearce is well forward here. Ian Wright lurking. Oh, and Hodgson! Oh, it's in! West Ham take the lead. 3 minutes. What a start. Well, Neil Ruddock is waving. So is Ian Wright, but John Hartson got in there. The corner was well delivered. And it just creeps in here beyond Brad Friedel. And it's 1-0 to West Ham, who'll be hoping they do rather better with a lead here than they did earlier in the week. Wright's flick on to Hartson. Oh, it's a good ball to Sinclair. Wright comes to the near post. Hartson! Well, he set the move up, and it was close to being his second goal. This is Sinclair who delivers the perfect ball really to the far post. It goes over Ian Wright. Hartson can't quite direct the header. Hartson! Pearce! Should have been 2. Ian Pearce will have memories of playing Liverpool on the day that he won a championship medal with Blackburn Rovers. Well, he could have made his mark again here. Half volley, skied it. Here's Ince. Hagan moving up on the far side. McManaman. Now Owen. They've got players in the middle here. It's Michael Owen with the shot. Paul Ince in the centre would have preferred a cross, but when you're Michael Owen, you think first and foremost about where the goal is, and he made room for the shot, certainly. I think he was entitled to try it as well from that angle. And this is Berkovic to Lazaridis. Joining the attack for West Ham. Lampard. Moncur. Berkovic. Hartson. Berkovic wants it back. He's got it back. And Ayo Berkovic has scored. It's 2-0 to West Ham. They start the second half in very much the manner that they began the first. Berkovic here, the maker and the scorer of the second goal for West Ham. John Hartson sliding it into him, and the shot really going across Brad Friedel. And Berkovic, who last season was a useful goal scorer from midfield, 9 for West Ham, is now on the mark again. And Liverpool find themselves 2-0 down. Their unbeaten record now really under threat. But here's Jamie Redknapp. That's a corner. The old chant of "Come on, you Irons," which has been heard down the years at Upton Park. Ruddock waiting on the edge of the penalty area for the corner. Hartson's hoping to get a touch, so here does Sinclair. Berkovic. Oh, Ruddock! Ruddock! No question about who would most dearly love to score today. And here was his chance on the best left side of Neil Ruddock as well, as it dropped. Had time to chest it down. Not a great angle, but too high. McManaman. To McAteer, and now Redknapp. Liverpool still buzzing around the West Ham penalty area in search of something. It's McAteer's cross. Oh, and it's the goal that they were looking for. Or is it? No. Karl-Heinz Riedler coming in, and Liverpool get back into it with the header from a man who earlier hit the post. It's Jason McAteer with the cross. Riedler got the header in, it thumped into the back of the net, and Liverpool do have hope.
West Ham completed a bizarre sandwich of disappointment around the Liverpool victory with a lacklustre display against nationwide second division Northampton Town in the first leg of their second round Worthington Cup tie at Sixfields Stadium. The first goal would have made an excellent opening sequence for a Harry Hill show, with Ian Pearce and Steve Potts combining to set up Chris Freestone to score. Freestone had just celebrated his 27th birthday, and there were more celebrations to come for the Northampton striker with a looping header over Hislop. Not the first the West Ham keeper had conceded in September. West Ham's last visit had ended in a 2-0 victory 2 years previously, but Dave Bassett's men are made of sterner stuff these days and kept the Hammers at bay for most of this game.
Berkovic waiting for support to arrive. Andrew Impey, who's going to be happier going forward than defending. Berkovic has continued his little soiree forward. This is Mark Keller towards Abu with the header. Well, he got goal side of Alan Rodgers, the Forest defender, and caused Dave Besant in the home goal a degree of worry that he would have rather avoided. Darshfield. Quasi. And now Johnson. Quasi for a second time. Might fancy this on his left foot, and it was Ferdinand who blocked it. Abu. Ian Wright. Keller is free on this near side, and so is Berkovic. Too much space left really by Forest. Keller. And Ian Wright, and Wright a second time. Well, the threat emanated from the amount of space that Forest afforded West Ham. Dangerous chap to give space and time to, Ian Wright. Potts. And Wright has escaped this time. Armstrong couldn't deal with it! Oh! Against the post! And a blue missed the sitter. I have a feeling that Besson might even have got a touch to it. He did. It was a fine save. Backpedaling, and he used all of his 6'4" frame. Stone or Quasi. It'll be Stone to take. And a header from Armstrong. It was a good opportunity because he was more or less unmarked and not that far out. 5 in the box this time. Picked off Armstrong's head, and from there the rest of it was unchoreographed. Quasi, Chettle. It's a decent ball into Johnson. Quasi. Well, the clearance was spectacular by Pearce. Could have gone anywhere off him. As it is, it's gone into touch. Could easily have gone off his boot past his stricken keeper. Ferdinand. Sinclair. Wright. This is better. This is a boo. Berkovic is inside the penalty area. So's Ian Wright with a chance. Well, he'd happily chop Dave Besson's legs off, I think. Because if he was a foot shorter, Wright would have scored twice by now. Lampard to Pearce. Faced by Johnson. Once more, Rio Ferdinand is sent forward by his manager, barking instructions from the touchline. Ian Wright is trying to look disinterested to fool the defenders. Keller. Sinclair that jumped. Johnson hacked it high in the air. And here's Bonalaire. And it's 3 against 2 for Forest if they play this correctly. Friedman's through the middle. Keeper's off his line. He's chipped him. That would have been the ultimate breakaway goal. And Dougie Friedman, who has yet to score in the Premiership, either with Crystal Palace or with Nottingham Forest, will feel that after the build-up he should have curled that inside the post. As good a chance as either side has carved out all afternoon. 2 minutes to be added on as West Ham prepare to take this corner. Frantic waving going on from the bench, but there's precious little they can really do. Keller. And Pearce. Signed for West Ham a year ago today. Ian Pearce. And nearly marked the anniversary with a goal.
The main story for West Ham's second round home fixture against Northampton Town was not whether or not they could pull back the 2-0 deficit from the first leg, but the heralded return of Upton Park legend Julian Dix. The game, unfortunately, was no classic, and an organised Northampton side held their first leg lead for the majority of the tie, only conceding a last-minute goal to Frank Lampard. You're, of course, an international, played for England, and your son is, I presume, if all things fall into place, is likely to have an international career as well. You must be very proud.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I mean, he's come in the side, and you know, when he first came in, he had a lot of hard work to do to win people over, and he's done that. He's a very individual person as such. He's got his own mind, and he battled through that situation, and I think he's put him in good stead now. He's very determined to do well, and to be fair, all the crowd now are back on his side, so there's not a problem. And if he keeps playing like he has been playing, there's no reason why he shouldn't get a full international cap soon.
I've got Sherry and Rory who are West Ham fans. Sherry, where did your love for West Ham first start?
Probably when I married my husband. That was it. We just carried on from there, really.
And who are your favourite players this season?
It's hard. Berkovic has got to be there. Kitson, since he's been back. Rio, they're all playing so well.
Sky's TV camera's second visit in a week to Upton Park saw a tougher test for captain Julian Dix. Dave Jones's Southampton side rooted to the foot of the Premiership with just a point and looking for their first away scalp of the season.
Looking cross, and that's curled in from Pearce, and Jones, well, backtracking I should say, just made it. Nothing looked on there. Pearce seeing Hartson. The cross was a bit long, but it was the deflection that nearly caught Jones out. It definitely came off there. Jones could have been severely embarrassed. Letitia. Plenty of chance here for a shot. Well, that's why they call Shaka Hislop the shot stopper. He beat that one out well. Not much he could do with the proximity. Got down. Good save. Beattie. Inside Palmer. Comes out to Hughes. And Hislop was clutching at thin air there. It was a nice ball across. Palmer did everything right. Hughes caught it first time, just over. Nice shirt, Dave. That's not going anywhere, is it? Good ball from right. Lazaridis. Sinclair's just in front of him. Hartson, all the time in the world. Sinclair, can he turn? He can't. Lazaridis will try again. Pearce, right. Ian Wright does it again. Well, I don't know if Paolo Di Canio's watching that, but I'm not so sure that'll amuse him very much. Well, that set piece with Ruddock, it was intelligent header from Pearce, but Wright put everything he could into that. It's a lovely cross from the left. Poor old Jones rushing across his goal. Not a chance. From the airship angle there, you can see the power he got into it. Wright puts West Ham out on 61 minutes. Tissier's corner. In there from Moncau. But Uriah Rennie has blown the whistle just before he struck it. Pushing, he says. And Moncau's furious. Ken Moncau looks a pretty legitimate equaliser. Let's have another look at this. Could have been that push on Ruddock or that one on Dix maybe. But it doesn't count. Southampton have competed well in this game, but no reward for them. Yeah, that's a nice tie, Dave, too. Do you like it, Harry? What do you think? Yeah. They're desperate to get this equaliser rooted to the bottom of the Premiership. Nice cross in. Ruddock made a mess of that. Beattie. Oh, just over. And Hislop, well, he looked a little worried. It was a slice from Ruddock. Beattie came in. It looked over, but then it curled under just at the last minute. Ruddock. Didn't think he was going to get that one back. Dix. Oh, lost out here. Letitia. Well, I don't know what Letitia is shouting about. It was a beautiful ball. But Hislop once again beat it away. West Ham hang on to their slender lead.
Thanks to the win over Southampton, West Ham finished the month in a dizzy position in the Premiership. The game against Wimbledon their only blip. Bonuses were the return to first-team action of Julian Dix, offset by the injury to Javier Marcus in only his second start for the Hammers. But things looked good, and the Upton Park faithful had plenty to look forward to in the coming weeks.
Well, I've been a season ticket holder for many years. Before that, I used to report on radio for West Ham. I used to do a sports show and be very passionate about them. And then I thought, I just want to come down and watch. I don't want to be talking about other teams. I want to come and see my team every week. So I had season ticket in the West Stand, and I had it for 2 seasons. It's just up there on the aisle seat. So that I could arrive very late, because I used to do a television programme in Southampton that finished at 1:45, and to get here for 3 was a bit tricky, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, so I turned down the job. And then they said, well, I'm sure you would be able to do it, and they worked out a plan for me, and it was that I could get a taxi to Southampton Airport railway station, get a train from Southampton Airport railway station to Waterloo, and I had a motorbike waiting at Waterloo, and it got me here, and I got into the ground just as the teams were running out. And I used to imagine as I walked up, that they were applauding me as I took my seat, and I'd wave, and that's why I had the aisle seats. And then each year, everyone in the West Stand always moves forward a little bit. It's like a...
So they go off the edge like lemmings?
Yeah, it's like an anti-aging process. And you see all the old boys up front with the really thick specs. They don't know their eyesight's gone because they've got a little bit closer each year. And so I'd crept down from row H to row F. And when I applied in the summer for my season tickets, I said, if it's possible to go a little bit further forward, that'd be great. And they wrote back and said, well, we can do that for you, but would you like to be the DJ? Because I've got on my headed notepaper, broadcast for journalists.
That's a lot further forward, isn't it? That's jumping off the edge.
So I'm a little bit further forward now, right in the corner. I've got my own nice little glass box there, down at pitch level. Not such a good view, actually. I was a bit miffed about that to start with, and because it's in the glass, you don't quite get the atmosphere. So I always have the door open so I can hear what the boys in the Bobby Moore stand are singing. But it's fantastic to be able to be the DJ. And this is the nice bit, having this little thing here. I'm very proud of this, having my picture and West Ham staff.
Staff, yeah, definitely it's a staff.
Yeah, it's not like I'm a fan anymore. I work for the club. I'm part of the club, which is nice.
Like Southampton, Blackburn Rovers were another side who'd begun the season badly, but as is often the way, they raised their game against a disappointing West Ham side, and it was a particularly bad day for Rio Ferdinand, who deflected Gary Flitcroft's shot into his own net for Rovers' opening goal after just 9 minutes at Ewood Park. Ferdinand, who was returning after a back injury, also made a poor back pass to Shaka Hislop, which led to Blackburn's second. Before the game, West Ham had not conceded a single Premiership goal when Ferdinand had played. But at least he wasn't to blame for Rovers' third goal, which came from a superb strike from Callum Davidson. All in all, an afternoon to forget for Harry Redknapp's men.
I think we've done better against the teams that have been doing quite well. I think Blackburn is something that the sooner we forget it, the better. I think it's a one-off for us. We all played badly as a team. But I think Villa coming here, top of the table, it will give the boys a little bit of a lift to beat the team at the top.
West Ham's first away defeat of the season was smartly followed by a fixture against undefeated runaway league leaders Aston Villa. John Gregory's side had already amassed a colossal 20 points from just 8 games. Could West Ham bounce back?
Oh, Hartson. And Southgate, what was he thinking? Just labouring on the ball a little too long. Lomas. He's created so many goals for West Ham when he joined the club from his long throws. Ruddock's calling for it. Gets in the header! And Oakes, well, he looked comfortable, but he was nowhere, has to be said. Well picked up by Lomas. So Ruddock was calling for the ball almost before Lomas even picked it up. Got up well, just wide. Yet to score. Collymore. Put in there by Wright. Collymore gets a good cross in, and Ferdinand right under his own crossbar sends the ball into the sky and behind for a corner. It's a good cross from Collymore, dangerous cross, so Ferdinand wasn't taking a chance. Oh, he can smile now, but there's a panicky moment in the 6-yard box when that came across. Ehiog's come up for this one. And Southgate's up as well. Taylor's made the journey. Good corner. Hartson. Southgate again. Hendry gets the chance to turn it back in. Good header in there. Thompson. And Hislop earned his money then. And so did Dix Ernest, taking it past Merson. Ehiog might be a slightly different case. Dix went past Merson easily enough, but when Ehiog came across, I think he was about another 3 stone in the frame there. Let's have another look at this header from Thompson. He got up really, really well, and actually a very good save from Hislop. Saw it late. Charles might try something. Lomas came in. Merson. Hendry's calling it, made a good run here. Hislop's turning up. Merson must do. Oh no! Paul Merson. Ferdinand punches Hislop for his pains. What a great save from Hislop, but what was Merson doing? As open a goal as you'll ever see. He just tapped it in. That's far too wide. Ehiog will have to pick that one up again. And Ruddock comes across. 2 of the biggest men on either side. And Ruddock does well. Ehiog. He's actually a very delicate player for such a big man. Taylor. Tip past Lampard. Merson. He can try it from there. Almost in slow motion, Hislop beats the ball away for a corner. Not happy with himself. I think he would have liked to have taken that cleanly. But Merson certainly got hold of it, and in the end, no harm done. So, looks like Andy Impey will come on. I don't think Ruddock wants to go. John Green's come on, has a few words with him. Certainly crouched in that position for quite a long time. Impey's put his top back on again. Seeley's saying calm it down, and Dick's getting orders from the bench. Well, what is going to happen? It's just about a quarter of an hour left. Silly to risk an injury, and in the end Impey has got his top off and is coming on after all that. Or is he? Yes, I think Harry's made up his mind. Let's make a substitution, right? So Ruddock does finally come off. I think the longest substitution in the history of the Premiership there. Must have taken about 2 minutes. Berkovic. Or Lampard, not a good return. Taylor gets it away, but only as far as Dix. That masterful left foot steers one forward. Wright's in with a chance here, Ian Wright! 78 minutes, but no, the joy short-lived. Oh dear. Great moment there, but the referees said there must have been I don't know if he was offside. It couldn't have been offside. It might have been a suspicion of a handball. Hartson causing problems there. Was that the handball maybe with the right foot? But a brilliant finish by Wright, but no goal.
For the first time this season, West Ham fans were able to enjoy an away game at Upton Park, with the Charlton match transmitted live on the club's big screens. The game started well, but it was to be a great disappointment.
And it's Wright at the far post, and Wright scores! And Ian Wright has scored for West Ham United. The ball swung in from the far post. Lampard with the corner. Ian Wright challenging with Rufus, and I think Wright got the final touch. So it's Kinsella, right-footed, swings it in. Yowds is in there, Hunt's in there, saved by, and it's in there! And it's Carl Tyler with his first goal for Charlton Athletic. Berkovic with a little bit of space and a little time in the midfield here. Neat for Lomas, and now Ian Wright. Oh, West Ham have got 3 blokes clear. Berkovic had to be, absolutely had to be. Charlton looked for the flag wasn't forthcoming. Ian Wright was away, and he had Hartson and Berkovic to choose from. Yes, we've started to see the rain drifting in towards Hislop's goal now.
Charlton will be hoping it has the same effect as it did in the first half when Rufus scored their own goal. Rufus is up as Mortimer swings it in. Rufus at the far post. It's in there! It's in there from Danny Mills! And it's Danny Mills for Charlton, his first goal of the season. 3 minutes for play. Hunt's in. Chance for Hunt. He shoots. Oh, it's there! Andy Hunt has scored for Charlton Athletic. We've had 46 minutes of this game, but I reckon there's still a couple of minutes for play. The Charlton bench very agitated. This would be a morale-boosting victory. Neil Barry looks for his... Oh dear, that's a foul surely on Kinsella. Play on, says the referee. Jones turns away. Oh, now's a chance for Robinson. Oh, is he going to go wide? Oh, he's gone through. He's through. It's a penalty. Penalty kick. John Robinson's won a penalty. Julian Dix disgusted. The West Ham players disgusted. John Robinson delighted. Let's have a look at this again. Robinson battled his way past Moncur. The challenge came in from Ferdinand. I don't think you can have much of an argument about that.
No, I don't think there is. The ball just went past Ferdinand, and I think Rio just came in a little bit too long with the legs, really, and it just went right past John Robinson.
Well, Neil Redfern, Charlton's regular penalty taker, is off. He's Clive Mendonca, so Redfern versus Hislop to finish the game for Charlton. It's there, it's 4-2. Charlton Athletic have the 3 points here at the Valley, and it's been a thriller here in London SC7.
7 days on and a visit to St James's Park for some sexy football with Ruud Hullit's Newcastle United. It had all the makings of a Hammer horror, but then Ian Wright had other ideas.
It's West Ham who get us underway, both teams in their normal strips. The Hammers attacking the goal to our right. 7th against 14th in the Premiership. 7 places separating the two sides, but just the 1 point. Solano and Glass providing the width. West Ham also looking at the moment as though they're playing with a flat back four. Good bit of work there by young Paul Dalgleish. Dalgleish full of confidence, striking on his first Newcastle goal, of course, in midweek. Kitson knew that Wright had made his run. Pearce was attentive as ever. Here's Lomas. And now it's with Sinclair. Again, Wright's made a good run and got the goal side of Davizas. Wright trying to get to that one, and the Greek international was nearly caught out there. Just managed to stretch and nod it back towards Shay Given. Charvet a little uncomfortable then with his clearance. In by Sinclair. All the way off the line. The cover had to be there as well. Newcastle again looking stretched at the back. Solano looking for Dalgleish. It's a good ball. Looking for support. He's looking for Shearer. He's got Glass instead, who had the confidence to strike it first time, but it was good closing by Ian Pearce, who got into block. And Newcastle get the corner kick. 15 minutes gone. And Pearce getting his weight in the way of the ball in. There goes Solano. Oh, he's not under pressure. Shearer was there. So too nearly was Gary's speed in the first place. This routine between Glass and Solano. Solano again getting height on it. Whistle's gone for pushing. To Shearer, not in agreement. Again, it's an excellent ball with lots of height from Solano. And the shove was on Rio Ferdinand. Right, with another good turn and clever stuff. Here's Ian Wright. Shoots! Great effort there, and Given was pleased to push it away. Ruddock first to it ahead of Shearer. Charvet being pressured by Ian Wright. Given took over. Ferdinand jumping well. Pearce clattering in then on Sinclair. It's a red card. A red card. Pearce cannot believe that. Well, no hesitation at all. Let's just see what happened then. And he's saying that's an elbow. A can't believe he sent him off. I cannot believe that. The flick there by Kitson, found Wright. Sinclair's making the diagonal run. It's still with Ian Wright. Got the shot in and he scored. Ian Wright. West Ham take the lead. Another superb bit of football from Ian Wright. And West Ham are ahead. 10 minutes into the second half. Wright goes solo on this one. Sinclair made the run that took out the defenders. Charvet couldn't hold him off, and the shot was right away into that far corner. Ian Wright is 5th of the season, and this game is now starting to go West Ham's way. Swallows ball in. Shearer. Not quite the clean connection he'd have wanted. It's on for Wright again from Kitson. Ian Wright. Oh, brilliant ball to Sinclair. Griffin gets it off the line. Gavizas was there, so was Griffin. And another absolutely stunning pass from Ian Wright. 15 minutes left. Gets by now on. That's a poor first touch from him. Here goes Sinclair again. He's got real pace. He's also got Kitson out wide. Here's Kitson, and Sinclair takes over and scores. It's 2-0. It's Sinclair, and Newcastle hit on the break then. Sinclair made the initial thrust. They had options. It came off the challenge from Charvet, which was unfortunate. First touch was from Kitson, and then Sinclair took charge again and fired home. Sinclair again proving too sharp for the Newcastle defence, and here's Ian Wright. Oh, great piece of defending there from Pistone. Lashed it again, this time by Keller. Pistone denied Wright then his second. Well, that looked 3-0 all over. Wright flicked it over the keeper, and terrific covering. To the 3rd minute of stoppage time, which Mr. Poll is adding on, allegedly. And here's Wright, flags down. Is it this time? It just had to be. No way you're going to give him that sort of an opportunity. And Ian Wright makes it 3-0. Absolute disaster for Newcastle. But Wright, he's been so sharp right the way through, rubs salt in the wounds. Again the defence split, pushing forward, and the finish between the legs of the defender. And Wright all smiles. Hardly the same for anyone in black or white.
Harry Redknapp's decision to drop Berkovic, Dixon, Hartson after the Charlton fiasco seemed to have proved a point at Newcastle. West Ham finished October still in the Premiership top 10 in 8th position. Again, the club had ridden a mid-month crisis to re-establish themselves as a side still capable of securing a European qualifying place. It was, however, very tight in the top half of the table. A 3 or 4 match run could easily draw a side clear from the pack by December.
The club did remarkably well last season. You know, they've had some good signings in the close season, and players like Neil Ruddock and Ian Wright. And I think certainly we have to strive to go that one better. So I think Europe is certainly a minimum ambition for us.
Whilst West Ham have tended to focus on homegrown talent this season, Chelsea, under the management of Gianluca Vialli, have gone for a truly international lineup. And the squad that Vialli brought to West Ham in early November had even restricted the likes of Dan Petrescu and Tor Andre Flo to the substitutes bench. The first blood, though, went to a Londoner.
Berkovic. Lasso just caught him there, and well spotted by the referee. Already 2 minutes into the game, and Berkovic has got to really caught him there, Lasso, on the right calf. Berkovic wants no more to do with it, leaving the free kick for Lampard. Well, I think Ruddock fancies his chances from this sort of position. Left-footed, through a crowd of players, it's got through there! And Ruddock, surprise, it's his first goal for West Ham. What's he up to here? You can see by the laughter on Lampard's face, who he's supposed to be parodying there. It's a beautifully clean hit. Ruddock's his first goal for West Ham through a forest of players. Well, they're ahead on 3 minutes. What a great start. So they push forward yet again. This is Nichols. A substitute. Wise. And Berkovic got a good block in there, very important. Came across and he's a tired player, but an important block there to prevent Wise getting the cross in. Jeremy Nicholas in his little hut there. Wise will take this corner. Flo's come across. The header goes back. There's the crossbar and Flo's gone for it and Babayaro's put it in. And it's a soft goal, but it's Chelsea level. Quarter of an hour to go. And Babayaro, neat jump. Pirouetting and he's thrilled. Well, West Ham will be upset about that. A poor goal to concede. Lambourne, I think it was, with a back flick. And as the ball came down off the crossbar, it was Babayaro who came in there bravely, put Chelsea level. Lampard turning, looking for an opening, just flicks one through there. Sinclair got tackled at the back there, but a beautiful overlap here by Berkovic. The ball comes out. Berkovic again, came off the post. How unlucky can you get? He's hurt.
West Ham have had 8 post-war managers and 6 matchday announcers. So, you know, I can say you're in the company of the notorious Bill Renfrey, who ran his little programme here where they used to have a band over by the West Enclosure.
He was a legend. Bill had his own little seat, didn't he? Somewhere up in the press box on its own.
I was wondering, you talk about myopic, he had these heavy spectacles, so I wondered how he saw the thing, but the little band down there. But you are changing things, aren't you? I mean, what are your ideas for making this matchday thing different?
Well, like you say, there's only been 6 of us, and West Ham have had this tradition of not having many managers, haven't they? They had the same manager for the first 30 years, and then they had John Lyle forever and Ron Greenwood forever.
Lou McCurry for a week.
Lou McCurry sort of blotted the copybook a little bit, but we tend not to talk about him that much if we can help it. But yeah, so being the sixth DJ, I'm trying to make it a little bit different. I mean, we've got a fantastic sound system, so the nice thing is people say, oh, you're really good, but what they mean is we're the first one you've been able to hear.
It's very honest of you to say that, because it is true. The system here has been terrible for years, and now you can play music right up to the second the game starts. Is that your idea, or is that a sort of a West Ham policy?
No, I like to keep the music going up to kick-off, just to build up the atmosphere, and then when you stop it, then the noise just comes up and everyone starts cheering, which is fantastic.
One of last season's most entertaining matches at Upton Park was a 7-goal thriller occasioned by the visit of Martin O'Neill's Leicester City. Just before this season's fixture, O'Neill had decided to stay at the club despite a potentially lucrative approach from Leeds, so he was fired up on the day, as were his Leicester City side.
Alathorn again, and Elliott's taken the ball, but he didn't kill it. Sinclair finds Wright, got a lot to do in this position, but he completely nutmegs Steve Walsh. Ian Wright towering down on goal. Beautiful chip, just wide. This is Alathorn. Oh, danger here for West Ham, and Leicester ahead. And it all went wrong down the right-hand side. Is it the man who was fed brilliantly there? He kept his head, took the ball on with the right foot, and finished clinically to put Leicester 1-0 up on 26 minutes. Kitson's made a good run. Right, Berkovic. He's going forward this time, Berkovic. It didn't get a good ball back from Sinclair, but right here. Through goes Pearce. Can Kitson get the touch? Kitson scores his first of the season for West Ham. equaliser. Steve Lomas pushed right. Lampard curls one in. Keller on the end of this. Good header. Wright is onside. Lomas. Good looking cross. Keller! Inches wide. Maybe moving to a crescendo again. Lovely turn from Wright, who finds Keller. So again, a nicely weighted cross. And, well, I'm sure Walsh knew what he was doing. Ball inside to Ferdinand. Comes to Lomas. Oh, we got a deflection and it's in! A cruel deflection past Keller. And I dare say Lomas will claim that as his own goal. But you can see a nasty deflection. Oh dear. It looked as though it came off Steve Walsh. It was a decoy, Berkovic. Lomas again. Oh, he nearly got it, right! And you won't see Ian Wright miss many like that. All along the floor to Berkovic. Curls one in, it's queuing up time. And somehow Kitson put it wide. Sinclair herring down the right for him. All the way! It might even come to Frank Lampard here. Berkovic. It is Lampard. Oh, yes! What a shot! And what a goal! Casey Keller deceived somehow. It may have got a deflection. Casey Keller, well, he's got to be the most unlucky man on the park today. This is Lomas. All the way to the line. It'll come to Wright. Another deflection, and this time Keller does make it. Badly need the 3 points. Oh, it's a good header, and it's in. Came off Lampard. It was Cotty's head, and Lampard facing his own goal. There was nothing he could do.
How good a manager would you say Harry Redknapp?
One of the best.
For West Ham.
One of the best. A ducker and diver, wheeler and dealer. Because we're not a club with a lot of resources, and I just think he's done miracles on a shoestring, really.
Can West Ham crack it at the very top, do you think?
I think they can. I don't see any reason why not. Maybe not this season, but I think we should start thinking seriously. It sounds a bit strange to say, why can't we win the Premiership? You know, why not?
West Ham's excellent month continued with a trek up to Derby County's Pride Park for a Sky Sunday live game in the afternoon gloom of the Midlands.
One chop gets it to Delap. Rory Delap. And made a mess of it in the end. Lomas. Kitson touch to Berkovic. Kitson slip, can't make it. Hartson! Johnny Hartson, what a way to answer your critics. 7 minutes gone and West Ham ahead. And it was Berkovic linked with Kitson who missed the opportunity, but Hartson, a wonderful slide rule finish, steered it into the corner of the Derby net. West Ham 1 up. With Berkovic, Lampard. Oh, that swerved! Fabulous take in the end by Mark Poom. That really, look at the swerve on that, and he caught it beautifully cleanly. Sinclair couldn't really get his foot round this one, but he has now. Oh, it's lost this one out if Dorigo there doesn't need to. Lovely touch, beautifully played by Sturridge. One chops with him. Sturridge might not need him, but Ferdinand worrying him over there by the corner. Cross comes in, and one change dropped it right in front of One Chop for a moment. Shaka Hislop, hiccups, just recovered. Look at his mind what he's going to do with it, but little turn, a little bit of acceleration. Berkovic to Kitson. Takes the return ball, but it all fizzled out at the end after some great approach work. Keller's with him, but he's turned right. Sinclair. Berkovic. Oh, a wonderful ghost as he went past Larsson, and it looks like Jakob Larsson is going to be booked for that. Berkovic had the measure of him completely. He's just caught him there with the left foot. Didn't really look deliberate. Top of the corner. Here comes Hartson. Looking for his second. There's only Sinclair here. Hartson flicks it on beautifully. He's past Origo. He can pull this one back. He's got Kitson with him. Kitson couldn't get on it, but Lomas off the line. And Lomas made ground spectacularly there as Mark Poom had come off his line. Sinclair slowing it down, building from the back. Kitson and Berkovic. Lomas is with him. Lampard just a little touch. And this is typical of West Ham's play for the majority of this game. Such a patient build-up, rewarded at the end with possibility of 3 points here today. Pearce fighting off one shot, did well, kept it in. This is Berkovic in space. Hartson's just forward for him, or maybe Keller might try from here. Oh, what a goal! What a goal for your first goal, and it's Mark Keller's first goal for West Ham, and it's 2-0. And they are happy hammers. Really, you won't see a better strike than this. Berkovic broke again, and Kitson was getting into a good position. Keller just on the D here. Look at that for a finish. Even better from behind the goal. I could tell you, Poom had no chance. Right in the corner. There's the 3 points that really proves to the Premiership the West Ham mean business. This is Berkovic, and Poom's off his line. Pleased to see that go over.
And how long have you been coming to the ground?
Since I was about 8 years old. First game was the 80 final at Wembley, and that's what got me going on them. Like when I was younger, I was about 8 years old, I think, yeah.
18 years on, you're still hanging on for the next trophy.
Yeah,
is it this year, do you think?
Still waiting, yeah, I reckon it is FA Cup this year. Easy, and we'll get into Europe anyway.
Is this the best West Ham side since you've followed them?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Go on then, don't edge your bets. Let's have a score.
Edge me bets. I think we'll do them 2-1. I think we will. I think we'll win today 2-1. And if we won't win, I think it'd be a disaster, because we're doing so well, and there's a little gap beginning to appear now. You know, and if we win, we maintain that gap
away from the pack. Then.
If we get beat, or if we draw even, then we allow others to creep up and we're back to square one.
Dermot Gallagher is the referee for yet another London derby, the 12th of 30 this season in the Premiership. And there is a feeling in the Tottenham camp, without Ramon Vega, John Scales or Colin Calderwood, that they could be in for a torrid afternoon against a very lively and improving West Ham side. Big responsibility for Sol Campbell to marshal things at the centre of defence. Here's Berkovic, good football by the Israeli international, and Campbell just prevented it reaching John Hartson. West Ham almost fashioning the first scoring chance in the opening 30 seconds. Stephen Carr. Not sure Sinclair wanted it, he didn't control it. Ginola. A mistake by West Ham, and they've got away with it. Playing it across the back, just outside their own penalty area. Foolhardy to say the least. Sinclair couldn't control it. Ginola couldn't keep the shot down. But the clearest chance of the first half, and Ginola knows that it's gone begging. Ruddock, oh, lucky to get away with it. Sinclair. Berkovic. What a good buy he's been. Here's Sinclair, Kitson, they've worked this one well. Yes! Sinclair, the ball came back to him off Bardson's save. And with 38 minutes gone, West Ham have opened the scoring. Lampard's shot was saved, but Bardson couldn't keep hold of it. And it was a fairly simple tap-in for Trevor Sinclair. His second goal of the season. Hartson to Kitson. Kitson does well as he did for the goal. Sinclair with a chance. Oh yes, oh yes. Just over 1 minute played in the second half. West Ham move into the comfort of 2 goals. Beautifully released by Kitson. And didn't he take it well from just outside the penalty area. With the outside of the right foot. The player bought for £2.3 million from Queen's Park Rangers in January of this year, with his 9th goal in West Ham's colours. On with instructions which he's now imparted to colleagues. Armstrong. Well, Tottenham are edging closer and closer to the goal that they seek. Carr, Anderton. Well, Tottenham are enjoying their best spell of the match. Anderton to try again. Sinclair not sure who was close to him. Opts for safety, corner. Well, since West Ham went 2 up at the start of the second half, Tottenham seem to have enjoyed 90% of the attacking football. And it's been on the cards, and Armstrong has got the goal that Tottenham have been threatening ever since West Ham went into a 2-0 lead. Ginola delivers the corner, and maybe West Ham's defenders were watching Sol Campbell. And it's a great header to give Chris Armstrong his 6th goal of the season, and we've had 72 minutes. Lazaridis, Lomas, Sinclair, here's Ian Pearce, back to Sinclair. It would have been a spectacular way to secure your hat-trick. Just shave the top of the crossbar.
Trevor, 2 goals for you, could have been 3. You must be absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, I'm delighted with the goals, but the game, I mean, it was just like a blur to me. I mean, I've got his shirt in my hand. I think that's the closest I've got to him all day.
Can you hold it up and show us? There it is.
He absolutely gave us the run around. He's a different class player, but it's good for the team. You know, we've got a good win again. Showing a lot of consistency, a lot of maturity for a young team. You know, and it's just like happy times at the Hammers at the moment.
When you first came here last year,
I started smiling.
Yes, absolutely. You can see it, and you were smiling a lot today because you don't. Sometimes you look a bit serious. So it's good to see the smile coming on the face.
Well, you know, when you score a goal and your tail's up, and I mean, you take a wild shot like I did and just goes in. You know, it's one of them days.
You must have been quite surprised because I didn't think the goalie had any problem at all with it. It was Lampard's shot, wasn't it? That it came out, it spilled out.
Yeah, I mean it's bouncing in front of him. He's not far out, Lamps, and he does strike a good ball. There's probably a little bit of swerving it from Lamps' volley, and like he has spilled it, and it's come out to me, and I've half gone to whack it, and you know he's flung himself at it, so I've just like stuck my foot under it and dinked it over him.
Samasi Abu has missed from even under the bar against Man United.
It's not hard. It's not hard to miss from there, by the way.
Well, take us back to the beginning of the second half, because you came out and Spurs were still in the dressing room, really, weren't they? When you scored, you got the ball was played out to you, and you hit a beautiful shot.
Well, I mean, the gaffer said, you know, we can't sit back on 1-0. We've got to get at them, and that's what the lads went out to do. We didn't want to sit back and take the pressure for like 45 minutes because we would have lost the game. So we've gone out, and I think it's a little bit of a counter attack. They've thrown a few men forward, and we've broke them down. And just on the counter attack, it's gone to Paul Kitson. I've made a run out to the line and cut inside, and Paul's played a great ball. I mean, Sol was closing on me, you know what I mean? So I had to hit it first time, and I've just caught it like deliciously.
Harry Redknapp's side finished November second in the Premiership and eyeballing Aston Villa for top spot. Not surprisingly, Harry Redknapp was voted Carling Manager of the Month. West Ham had laid further preparations for Europe and were now enjoying their best season for nearly 12 years. At the moment, everything in East London was clearly right.
I've got Richard and Keith here. Now, you two made quite a journey to this game, haven't you?
Yeah, we come from San Francisco today. We got here this morning. We come especially for the
2 hours. I haven't been to sleep yet. I think it is.
Now, tell me, I don't want to be rude, but you don't seem to have much of a San Franciscan accent.
I don't. I've actually been there for 20 years, but he's been there for like 35 or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I was born in Chiswick, and my dad passed away the first year, and I'm bringing his ashes back on this trip. I'm putting him in the Thames, so that's why I come back.
And was he a West Ham fan? Or is that stretching it a little bit?
Chelsea.
Oh, we keep that.
We might hold that against him, but I said, you want to see a good team? I'll bring it down to West Ham. You know, showing him around London like the next couple of days.
How easy was it for you to get tickets?
Very difficult. Very difficult. It's been sold out for about 3 weeks or something, but
you've had a word with a guy. Oh, I see.
A couple of people helped us out.
So tell us why you've brought Keith here today.
I brought him to see a decent team, didn't I?
As you say, I'm a West Ham fan. It's West Ham all over. You can turn up to any game, never knowing what the score is going to be. You know, you could think you turn up to Northampton, we spanked them, and you end up getting turned over by them. It's just West Ham.
Just cheer the boys. Keep it going. Don't let them mute you. Keep shouting, keep singing. Even if they do say we've only got one song, it's better than most of theirs.